everybody, we don't have to live this way. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the What's on My Phone challenge. Now, I haven't done this challenge before, so it should be quite interesting really. So I've got my phone here. So I've got the iPhone 6 Plus in white, and my pop socket is from Amazon. And if you don't have a pop socket, I highly recommend you get one. I had one before this and it broke, and I used it when it was broken and then got another one to replace it. I love it to pieces. It's really good, and it helps me not to drop my phone, so it's for grip. And then my phone case is from Amazon as well as my pop socket, so I'll see if I can find them and then put the link in the description below. So let's get started. Actually, before we do that, let me just scoot this way a bit so I can have a screen recording right here. So this is my home screen. I like to have all my apps planned out, so as you can see, I don't have them in those little file things. I don't like it. I like to see them all. So we've got messages and FaceTime. I don't use them like massively. There's other apps that I use more, but there's other apps that I also use less. Calendar I don't really use. Reminders and notes. I use notes, I don't really use reminders. I use photos, and maps is always useful to have on your phone. I don't really use a weather one. I just find that I don't really look at the weather, to be honest. I look outside. App Store I use obviously for getting apps. Clock and wallet. I don't use wallet, but I use clock for my alarms and stuff. So yeah. Stocks and iTunes Store. I don't really use them. Calculator. That's always useful to have. iBooks, News, Home, Health, Camera. I don't use iBooks, News, Home and Health, but I use Camera and Settings. I use Contacts obviously, and Extras. I don't use any of them, and that's in a file. I should change that. Watch and TV I don't have, and I don't use. Files I don't use. Now we go on to like the apps that I do actually use and that I've downloaded myself. So Facebook, Messenger and Twitter, I use them quite a lot. They're quite good. I like to keep in contact with people, and I find Facebook quite easy, and Messenger and Facebook, yeah, they come together. So so I use Facebook quite a lot. Less so now than when I first got it, but I still use it. I probably use Messenger more to message people, and I've got some notifications on those as well, but I'll have a look at them later. Pedometer, yeah, I don't really use that. Snapfish, I do like it. It's basically an app where you personalise your photos. So you can like personalise photos and stuff, and you can get personalised gifts for people if you wish. So I quite like it. I will link my Twitter down below as well, with my Instagram, when we get to that. Countdown, I quite like this app. This app is quite nice, but I don't really use it. But there's 141 days till Christmas. And yeah, I just got some other ones in there, and I try and use it, but I just don't. My Fitness Pal, I should actually delete that because I don't use it. I used to a little bit, but now I don't. LinkedIn, kinda use it, kinda don't. Aqua, relative amount. Love Island, I used this app when Love Island was on because of voting and stuff, so I used to vote. BGT, probably should delete that as well. Shazam, I love Shazam. So if there's a song that you don't know, then you can Shazam it and it will listen and then tell you the song that you're on about, but this probably won't come up. So yeah, that's Shazam. Well, I recommend you get Shazam if you haven't already because it's really good. Plateau, I downloaded that because my friend had it and I just haven't really used it. NUS Extra, this is for students, so you can get an NUS student card, and it basically just says what you can get discount on and what you can't, and I find it quite useful, but I don't use it. So I can see why people have this. Yeah, so you just click on one and then you can see like 20% off and like whatnot. So that's NUS Extra. 4 in a Row is a game, obviously 4 in a row. 8 Ball Pool, that's a game on your phone about pool. Candy Crush, if you haven't heard of Candy Crush, I'm quite surprised because quite a few people have it. Birdie Fly, that is a like spin-off of Flappy Bird, and when I got this phone I couldn't download it Fitbit. I don't actually have a Fitbit, I just have the Fitbit app, which is relatively useful. I look at it to look at my step count. WordBrain 2, I don't really use that. SimCity, I used to go on this game a lot, but now it's just kind of fizzled out. I don't really use it, but I still occasionally go on it. Monzo, that's for a card that I have. BBC Weather, I used to use that relative amount as well, but now I just don't look at the weather. Smule, that's a singing app that I really like, but I haven't done much singing, so I haven't really used it much. But it's a really good app, so you put in headphones and it's like you're in a studio and stuff, and you can like sing. Tetris, that's a game that I used to play on my dad's old phone, and then I just downloaded it on here. Podcasts, I don't use that. Word search, I quite like doing word searches. I find them quite therapeutic. Instagram, now I love Instagram. So I really like Instagram. This is my username. So my Instagram is basically like a timeline of events that have happened in my life. This is what I turned out to be my Instagram for. So anything that's happened or anything I want to remember, I usually Instagram it, and then it's all there for me. So that's my Instagram, and if you want to follow me, my Instagram name is l.jones1. And I'll put a link in the description along with Twitter as well, so you can go and follow me there. IBU is a university app that I use for my timetable and to get onto other things online as well, to access stuff. Stocard, this is actually quite a good app, but I just don't really use it. So basically, Stocard is where you can have different cards. So like Costa card, a Morrison's card, and other cards. And instead of having to take your purse with you, because I have Apple Pay, so I usually just use that. You can scan it and it will recognise your cards. So yeah, like Boots, Costa and Morrison. So you just click on one and then you can just scan it, and then it will add your points to it. But the brightness goes up on it as well. Wordscapes, I don't really use that. I did when I first got it, but I should go through my apps and delete some actually. Trainline, I never catch a train, so I don't really use that either. And they're really expensive as well, so yeah, I don't really use it. Duolingo, I use a relative amount. It's just something that I quite like to go on and learn a bit of Spanish that I'm trying to learn as well. WhatsApp, obviously you can tell that I use that a relative amount as well because I've got notifications on it. I use WhatsApp to stay in contact with my family. Bitmoji, I don't really use that, but that's what to do with Snapchat, so I have that. Jigsaw puzzle, I find doing jigsaws and like solitaire really therapeutic to do if I just like want to do one of them, so I have them on my phone. Spotify, I use Spotify all the flipping time. It's amazing. If you don't have Spotify, you should really get it. I think it's 12 something a month, so it's not that much, but you can download music and you can like share an account as well. Students get a discount as well, so if you're a student and you don't have it, you can get a discount on Spotify. XE Weather is a weather app that I don't actually use. No, I don't use XE Weather. Doodle Jump, I had Doodle Jump quite a long time actually when I was in school, and I really enjoyed it, and I haven't really played it much. Lloyds Bank, HSBC, they're like banking, so they're useful to check my banks. Clue, okay, this is a really good app. Clue is a period app, so you can go on, I'll show you. And so you can go onto it and you can like track when your next period is, and it will like estimate when it's going to be. So you put in like information, so this is my calendar. So you put in information about when you're on your period. So let's go back to May. So this is the red bits are when I've been on my period, and then you can like add, hang on, you can like see, so if you had any cramps and stuff, and if you're feeling sad and stuff, and what your bleeding's like, and then it will estimate from that, it will estimate when your next period is going to be. So in August, this red bit here is when it estimates when my next period is, and that little cloud is my estimated PMS as well. So you can actually go on and track and like, yeah, and it's really good as well. So if you're having like more irregular periods like I do, then you can just track it, and it's quite good. So I really liked it. H&M, I used, actually, this has a story behind it. So we went into H&M in the shop, and they were like, oh, if you download the app you get money off. So I downloaded the app and I got money off, but I've never used the app since. So yeah. Boomerang and Layout are to do with Instagram, and they're quite good to use and I quite like them. National Express, I usually catch this to come home from Bournemouth, so it's quite useful to have it on my phone. Dots & Co is a really good app. It's a game actually. ITV Hub, I used this when I was in the hospital because I found it really good to watch Love Island on. One Line, this is a quite good app. So it's like you've got to draw a shape, but you can't take your pen off the paper, and you've got to get around that shape. It's quite mathematical. You've got to use your brains a little bit. Prime Video, I downloaded this and I haven't really used it, to be honest. Tesco Mobile, that's my tariff, so I can go on to that and see what I've got left. Pinterest, I don't really use it, so I have like fashion and films and stuff, but I don't, as I said, I don't really use it. I've got 4 followers. But I quite like it for like inspirational ideas. If you're trying to get some ideas or something, then it's quite good in that aspect. Sandbox is basically a colour by numbers game that I use. YouTube, I don't really use YouTube on my phone because it eats up a lot of battery, but I do like to have it on there just in case one of my favourite YouTubers has a video out and I like to watch it. Uno and Friends is basically Uno, the card game, on your phone. 1010, I think this is a spin-off of 1010 because it says 1010 Cool, and basically it's a 10 by 10 grid and with shapes in, and you've got to get the highest score you can. All 4, I don't really use it, to be honest. I don't really watch much on my phone. Yeah, 2 Dots is a bit like Dots & Co, to be honest. I don't know why I downloaded it. And Moot 2017 was when I went to Iceland last year, and we downloaded the app because it was easier to use. Covers and Wattpad, they're kind of the same thing. Wattpad is a writing book app that I can go on and write a book or read a book, and Covers does the covers of it. Live Score, the only reason I have this on my phone is because my boyfriend wanted me to download it because he either forgot his phone or didn't have any data or something, so he downloaded it on my phone and I just left it on there. Eventbrite, that's quite useful to have if you're going to events. Roll the Ball, it's kind of a puzzle game. 2048, that's quite a good game as well. Snapchat's your standard one. Pictionary, I played that with my friend. Temple Run's always a fun game to have. YB Move, which is a bus company in Bournemouth that I like to use. Criminal Case and Pacific Bay are detective games, if you like, so you've got to work out who's the killer and whatnot, and they're quite fun actually, to be honest. 100 Picks. Piano Tiles 2 is like Piano Tiles 1, that you've got to click on the black tiles and they get faster as you get higher, and then your score goes higher as well, so they get faster as you get a higher score. Colour is an app, Colour Switch, which is quite a good little game actually. Quite a good game. I'm not going to do this properly, but you've got to get it through the purple, and then if you tap another colour you die basically, so that's quite fun. Touch Blur is basically where you can blur out an image, which I used to use but I don't really use anymore. Flow 3 and Flow Bridges and Flow Free, so you got to join one dot to the other of the same colour, and it's not a puzzle game. They're all puzzle games. Moon is when the full moon is going to be, because it's useful of the moon times. So it's last quarter tonight, and it tells you when the full moon is. Balls and Snake vs Block. I'm really bad at balls, so I don't really play it. Snake vs Block I'm alright at, but I still don't really play that. 4 Pics 1 Word, so that's like 4 pictures and 1 word has to go with all those pictures. It can get quite difficult. Netflix, I do use Netflix. I used it in hospital and stuff. Speed test because of Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi can be quite slow sometimes here because we're in a more rural area. So yeah, Wi-Fi can be quite slow, and it's quite good to know how fast it is anyway. BBC iPlayer, I used that in hospital because I wanted to watch something and I haven't really used it. Monopoly, that's quite a good game. But it's not the same as playing the live game of it. I'm a Celebrity. I think I use this app. I don't really know why I have that. It might be to vote or something, because you can vote via apps now. So I might have downloaded that. Wordalot, I'm not too sure. It's a game that's to do with words, and I'm not too sure what you do. Tabs is a guitar thing, and it's Ultimate Guitar. It's to do with that. That's kind of the same thing, I think. RCT Touch is Roller Coaster Tycoon, which I play quite a little bit, which is alright. This 2048 is kind of like 2048, but it's card form, which is weird but quite nice. So I've got the Love Island down there, down at the bottom, that I downloaded quite recently. My apps are not in files because I like to see them all, and also they're in colour order because I got bored once and I wanted to do it. So I do find it quite good. So you start off at the beginning, that's not really coordinated, but you start off with this is like the blues, and then you go into like the purples and the like the reds, and then you go into the greens, and then you go into the whites, and then you go kind of back onto the reds a little bit, and then into orange, and then into yellow, and then into black. But some of them have loads of different colours on, so some of them may look a little bit out of place because I didn't really know where to place them. So that is what's on my iPhone, and I'm sorry if you got a little bit bored. I did as well, to be honest. No, I'm joking. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you get notifications whenever I post. Yeah, so I'll see you next week.